Great, it's winter, I'm wearing black, I got white shoes, socks over, white helmet. What's missing? The serious face selfie for the gram. Hi everyone, and welcome to a new video. Has fashion gone too far in cycling? Are we more concerned about what we wear, how we wear it, rather than the actual activity itself? Maybe. I like to follow fashion. I'm not shy of showing off the beautiful kit that my sponsor Sirocco is sending me. Interested to see how divisive this argument can be, and yes, how things have changed since the 80s, 90s, where everything that the cyclists used to wear were pro kits or replica kits, and now we got a plethora of different categories of fashion within the cycling industry, and yes, things have changed so much. Okay, maybe because I'm Italian, I'm not actually ashamed to wear these latest trends, even if they are a bit silly, in all fairness. Because in Italy, as a country, we do follow fashion even in our 50s, 60s, 70s. Yes, so even if you're not young anymore, yes, there's no harm in following fashion, and this is what we do. From the original pro kit to the London style black and white, everything in between seems to have formed different tribes within the cycling community. And the brand that so decisively changed the cycling clothing was Rapha. Yes, because they first detached the kit from the racing style. They definitely created a new way of interpreting the cycling clothing for more unique style. This is where we are now, and all the brands have kind of branched out from what Rapha first implemented. Okay, there we can see one of the famous cyclists in London from Chain Gang. Yeah.
Out of Lycra today.
Out of Lycra for once. Yeah. Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you, always.
So Rapha was unbelievably successful, to the point that they almost became later victims of their own success, because yes, a Rapha rider was identified with someone that just arrived for posing maybe on Instagram, and not actually a serious rider, which is not necessarily true. And yes, a lot of other brands follow suit, trying to get the share of this huge market that leisure cycling became. Prices up, and of course COVID compounded everything. A number of brands over the years came up to the market, and now you got hundreds of different type of clothing to cater for every taste. And as a consequence of cycling becoming more and more expensive, even the brands differentiated themselves to push high up in the market and become, as Rapha was already expensive, even more expensive, while moving from the functional side of the clothing to true statement fashion pieces, where, you know, a jersey can even cost 300 quid. And that's where the competition at the top end became really intense, and lately brands like Endura and Rapha posting huge losses because it's tough at the top, and the newcomers like MAP or Pass Normal have eroded a lot of market that these brands used to have. So while the traditional cyclist maybe used to wear functional pieces from maybe Castelli, Sportful, Endura, then the more fashion-conscious cyclists, especially from London, riding an expensive bike, will wear Rapha, Pass Normal, MAP, and Biele. So every brand that is really going through the high-end market and offering, yes, quality pieces, but hugely expensive. Other brands, especially the Spanish brands, tend to be more affordable, with offering good quality like Sirocco, Exteondo or Gobic. More for the UK, Universal Color as well is very fashionable, showing this palette of colors. Expensive as well, but I'm not sure how widely is recognized outside the UK. And depending on what your style is, then maybe you will choose the brand that you prefer. And it looks like sometimes we go out more to show off the latest kit rather than the ride itself. I don't know if it's entirely true, but yes, it's a bit of both maybe. The fashion trends, they come and go depending on the season. Now the black outfit is always the favorite. People, they think they ride hard, wants to wear full black. And the latest introduction is of course the socks over, because white shoes are always the pros favorite, and matching the shoes with the helmet is always a good thing. So with the full black kit, white shoes, white helmet and white socks now seems to be the favorite one. The fashionable ones, they tend to play with the colors, always subdued colors or maybe cream palette, and it's always important how you mix and match this. And the Italians of course have their own term, sprezzatura, which means a way of mixing things together without trying too hard. Of course in cycling it's not that easy. You can't mix brands, everything needs to be from the same brand, so it's not entirely applicable. But yes, certain approach of not being too structured is always useful. Of course the commuters will stick to the yellow, high vis and black, like a conservative fashion look. So I just had a look inside Via London, which is possibly the pinnacle of the fashionable bike shop here in King's Cross. They do have the coolest kit, the most beautiful bikes around, and yes, it's more or less like Rolls-Royce, where if you had to ask the price of their things, definitely you can afford them. Some of these fashion trends, I don't even know how they start. For example, the socks over is, yes, came out of the blue. I guess it's more or less like the gym clothing. Now, before people used to wear no-show socks, and now everyone is socks over even for the gym kit. Who knows? I guess the biggest question now is this push towards the fashion of clothing in cycling a good thing? Is it increasing the enjoyment of the sport, or is actually creating barriers in terms of more elitism and division? I'm not sure, and it's difficult to give a straight answer. Personally, I do like the dressing up element. I take care of my kit, and yes, I do like to pretend to be my Derek Zulander sometimes and post something on Instagram. Why not? And I never experienced actually from any other rider some sort of snobism or kind of looking down on me because I wasn't wearing the fashionable brands in that moment. But I can understand that people can feel judged, and especially if you're not a strong rider, maybe yes, there could be even more worry that yes, you may not be up to the job and people would judge you depending on the stuff you're wearing, which is not ideal, but I guess it's part of our nature, because at the end of the day, fashion and this attitude is very much of a evolutionary trait. It's kind of linking yourself together with a certain group and differentiated from the other groups. It's always been there since the very early stages of humanity. Now, on top of Strava, you have to post your ride on Instagram, otherwise, again, it didn't happen. Strava itself is not enough anymore. We dress up even nicer and better to show off on Instagram, and yes, it seems that that push is also increasing that factor even more. But as always, it's all down to the behavior. I met cyclists, they are very present on Instagram, very fashion conscious, and they are great riders. At the same time, some other people might come across as a classic cyclist, but they were not that great. So guys, I think fashion is a good thing in cycling, at least for me, if interpreted in a good way, without being elitist against anyone. And yes, we can enjoy our sport in different aspects, even with white socks in the winter. At least I had my lights on today, yes, to balance out a bit people that say that I can't be seen. Guys, let me know your thoughts. I guess it might be a bit divisive, but yes, I'll be looking at the comments and try to answer all of you. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!